Hey there everybody, it's Eternal Snowman here for the first BLT recap and analysis of the BLT season, and I'm here to break down my match against t0te, the Scarf Shaman and Uber's player, and this is the team I wanted to use. It's something that looks kind of like HO, but I wanted to kind of spice it up with a little bit of fun stuff. Deoxys-Speed, Scarf Speed, and this is what I decided to go with. Shoutouts to Microwavable for giving me this idea in his BLT predictions. This set is pretty funny, and it's kind of standard stuff outside of this. So Mega Metagross, so it's kind of like balance with this Scarf DOS. And this set aims to beat both Scarf Shaman, which was something I was kind of scared of just because flinching can be really painful to deal with. But it also deals with other stuff like a lot of leads it's able to beat because it baits them into thinking you're like a more standard Deoxys set. And also it can revenge some other stuff because of its really high speed. The other stuff is kind of standard. I wanted to go with Charti, very Yveltal, because it's really good at beating a lot of the stuff he likes to use, like Double Dance, Primal Groudon, E-Killer, etc. Arceus, this is kind of a standard set. Normalium Z, it's not seen as much nowadays because they prefer Chople on this kind of set, so that they can deal with Marshadow. But this is still, like, Normalium is still very good, and it's very good versus HO. Xerneas, of course, one of the best anti-offense mods. Mega Metagross just to prepare for Xerneas in case there is one. And then Primal Groudon, this is a good late game win con in case he decides to bring something like Balance, but can also be decent versus offense. And I was mainly prepping for offense because offense is something that he likes to bring a lot. And so we can jump right into the replay here. And I was pretty much expecting this team exactly, since he actually brings this specific exact lineup a lot, except he replaced Scarf Shaman with a Yveltal, so I wasn't too sure what to expect from the Yveltal. The rest would be just from team preview. I know he's lead Excadrill. Well, I mean, that's the only Excadrill set there would be, except for potentially with a t0te you could run a more sweeper set. E-Killer for sure, and then this is most likely Double Dance Groudon, Ultra Necrozma, most likely Special, and then a Geozern. So right here, we're going to go off with our plan. Since there's no Scarf Shaman, I don't need to preserve my Scarf on DOS. So I just go ahead and lead with it and then get the trick off. Since if I trick, then I'm either guaranteed here. I'm either going to be guaranteed to trade rocks, because then he'll be tricked into Scarf Rocks, or heal Earthquake, and then I'll be able to go into my Yveltal for free. So it ends up that he actually Earthquakes first, probably predicting Taunt. And so then I go into my Yveltal, and this is pretty good for me. I'm in a good position, and I can just get off a free U-turn and pivot into something pretty good. So I go into my Metagross, and then here I decide to actually Earthquake. I wasn't really expecting Excadrill, however Excadrill was definitely a possibility. I was mostly trying to prevent the Groudon from coming in for free. The rest of this stuff doesn't appreciate switching into Meteor Mash, as they all lose to Metagross 1v1. So the Earthquake will be pretty good here, and I wasn't scared because even if Xern hit me, or Geode or whatever, Metagross would still beat it. So it's like a risk-free play for the most part. And I'm rewarded as I actually catch the Excadrill, and he goes into his Groudon, and Groudon beats Metagross, and I need to preserve the Metagross. So I just go ahead and switch into Yveltal. And this is a risk-free play as well, because I'm expecting some Double Dance set, and this Charti Yveltal will beat no matter what, beat the Groudon no matter what. So he's gonna go ahead and Stone Edge first, because predicting or like to play around foul play, but Charti Berry procs and it doesn't matter. So Yveltal is brought low, but it doesn't super matter. It's nice to deal with these two mons, however, I still have other answers to both of them. Sorry. And then he goes Xerneas. And on Xerneas, I should just go Mega Metagross, and he doubles. I'm not too sure what he was trying to catch, but he did end up catching the Yveltal versus Metagross, and Metagross does lose to Yveltal 1v1. You need to get a little bit of chip, and because I need to preserve Metagross, I just go ahead and sack Geo here. which does not do anything anymore, except for potentially set rocks, but that's not useful. And then I go into Arceus, and I start with the Swords Dance. And here, since I know the role, I'm actually clicking Z refresh here, but I end up getting flinched. So if I actually get Z refresh off here, I'm pretty much guaranteed to win. Since there's nothing that Necrozma can do to actually touch me from that range, so I would be at full HP here. I would E-Speed, and then if he stays in, Yveltal dies. If he goes to Necrozma, I kill the Necrozma, and everything else will drop afterwards. But he ends up going to Necrozma, predicting the E-Speed, which is a good play on his part. And I don't want to go through the 50-50, which the 50-50 would be whether I Shadow Claw and he stays pre-Ultra, or he Ultras and then I E-Speed. And so I just sack Yveltal, which doesn't do anything anymore at 16%, since it won't get an opportunity to Roost. And then just go into my Scarf Xern. And Xern will actually, at this point, because he Mega'd or Ultra formed his Necrozma, it's guaranteed to get a kill here because no matter what, it'll 2-hit KO all the remaining mons. So he goes into his Arceus, and I just click Moonblast just to prevent it from setting up. And he goes into the Swords Dance, and I'm not scared because Xern is guaranteed to live a hit. And I just Moonblast again, and E-Killer's down. E-Killer could have potentially been a threat with my remaining lineup, but he didn't play it super well. So now he goes ahead and Geomancies, and then I just go ahead and sack my Arceus here. That's no longer necessary, and go into Metagross and grab the kill on Xerneas. And Yveltal will drop soon after to a Thunder Punch. And I mean, this game was pretty easy. There's relatively painless, no real issue. So that's pretty much it. And I'm recording this video on Friday, so this is actually after I've won. Our team has won all our games so far, and we're 5-0, meaning that we have already won week 1 of BLT, which is great. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll look forward to seeing you in another BLT recap and analysis. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be doing a week wrap-up kind of thing, but if I do, I will put it out sometime early next week to try to highlight some of the more important matches. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed.